We have seen a new trailer for a new Borderlands game. It will be a fifth installment in the franchise, but the number is fourth because pre-sequel was without a number. And the main controversy with the new Borderlands, which will be released in 2025, probably in the last quarter of this year, is that Valut Hunters new characters look boring, and this is I would say a valid point that even though the trailer in itself was really good, because in this new trailer we see a new race of sapient species uh, which are returning, or which will be in the on the Pandora, or on the moon of Pandora, and there will be a war between them and the bandits. And what will be our function as Valut Hunters in this new situation? But the main and the whole trailer was I would say it was quite good, because we saw for the first time that bandits are not only just some pure goofy savages which we only kill and so on, but they also have a structure, they also have hierarchy, they also have elites, they also have leaders, and there will be probably some faction. Maybe we could even alliance with them, or with this another sapient species, and this species is because guardians in first Borderlands were the guardians of the technology of this new ancient race. And this new ancient race is returning, or is discovered, or is somehow appeared in our world, and there will be a great war between them and probably us as Valut Hunters. And for example, when we saw this great epic battle between the forces and the soldiers of bandits, or between bandits and this army of this race, there was a good explanation, or a good or a very well showing us, for example, this badass, I would say, woman with some tentacles, with some mechanical tentacles, and the spectacle of this heroic battle was really impressive. But the main controversy is, of course, about Vault Hunters, that they are too boring, that they are too dull, and unfortunately, I have to agree with this argument. Of course, it's just a trailer. It's just a trailer. So, and I would also say that, for example, Vault Hunters from Borderlands 3, uh, first impression is not impressive. It's not impressive, but I would say that this trailer, the characters in this trailer looked even worse than characters from Borderlands 3. I would say that the best look is, of course, between characters from Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. I would say that first part, for me, those characters are most recognizable, and they have the coolest look. They have very specific look, and each character, Brick, Lilith, Roland, and Mordecai, their appearance, their look is in their class. And second part is also very good at showing us their charisma, their look and their outfit, and we also see how their character will be in general. But I must also tell that even though characters from third installment, Borderlands 3, didn't look at first glance appalling, charismatic, or beautiful, or cute, or badass, when you play them, um, they are really very well constructed, and their skills and their abilities are impressive. I would say that they are even a little bit over the characters from Borderlands 1. Their builds, their skills, their unique abilities are really, really unique. But I understand that unfortunately those characters from Borderlands 4, they look almost like NPC characters. They have too many details on them, and these details are so dull, so gray, so blackish grayish, that we cannot see or discern any characteristics on them. Because, for example, when we saw Brick, we saw that his abilities will be melee fighting. When we saw Mordecai, we saw that he will be fast. He will be, but he will be fast and agile. When we saw Lilith and her ability, we saw that she will be very, very fast and cunning, and she will be a specific person, not an ordinary woman, but a siren. And we also saw a Roland, casual, normal soldier, also very impressive. And in this example, in Borderlands 2, I didn't remember. I only finished the game once, but the characters from there were also very charismatic also on the outside. Their outfits told us what characters, what specific skills, or what class are they leaning into. And in this case, the case of characters from Borderlands 4, it's unfortunately that they look almost like all other characters. So we were not even sure if they are NPCs or they are unique characters. Because in Borderlands 1, in Borderlands 2, even in Borderlands pre-sequel, you see that you have bandits, you have enemies, you have adversaries, and you have Valut hunters. But here in Borderlands 4, they were two, I would say, you cannot. They were almost like translucent. They were almost like vistas, or like displays, or like ambient after them or behind them. So it was really a problem. Of course, it's very early, and it is also only a trailer. So we need to be careful to judge, and to put harsh opinions on such topics. But it was, because bandits and NPCs were looking better in this trailer than Valut Hunters. And in other games, Valut Hunters were the best looking, the coolest characters, and the bandits looked cool, looked well, looked beautiful, looked very well designed, but not as well designed as Vault Hunters, because Vault Hunters are not only Vault Hunters, they are heroes, they are epic heroes on this epic adventure on the planet of Pandora. So I would say that we also have some doubts about the graphics, and if it will be almost like Borderlands 3. But I had the same worries about Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3, and when I played Borderlands 3, I almost immediately saw that the graphic is much more improved than graphics in Borderlands 2 or pre-sequel. So I'm not worrying about that much. But I would like to advise something to the producers, that Borderlands 3, even though the graphic was very good, it was many times it was too flashy. The abilities were too flashy to the point that I couldn't see a person who is shooting at me. so it was flashy. Even the game was even brighter, and stroboscoping flashing lights more than Lost Ark. So it was really bright game, to the point that I got seizures and headaches, and the game is too flashy. And even though the graphics are impressive, especially of fighting, shooting, and the characters, I would say that that environment is too. You cannot see the environment clearly. You cannot see the environment clearly. The rocks, the caves, the buildings, the vehicles. Uh, Environment is too without, not even contrast, but without concrete lines. Concrete lines. For example, in Borderlands 1, when we play Borderlands 1, we see that this game is old. It's from 2009, but the and also Borderlands 1 was darker, not only in tone, in humor, because it was also criticized that humor and jokes from Borderlands 3 are too childish and too primitive, but Borderlands 1 was almost like a Blade Runner world. Pandora was a dangerous place, but very grayish, dangerous, lonely, nihilistic. And Pandora from Borderlands 3 is a little bit too goofy, a little bit too colorful. Everything is too colorful. The graphic is amazing. The graphic of abilities when Mo is using her mech. When we have a character who is a beastmaster and he can control skag, and this skag can, for example, have a radiation, be bigger and bigger. Everything looks really cool, but it's too flashy, too colorful for a Borderlands game. Because of course we know that the controversies with adversaries of Borderlands 3, but not only that was the problem, their goofy characters and their omnipotence, to the point that they were silly and goofy and cringy, but they were also almost omnipotent. uh, and and the graphics was too colorful, and was too for example, when you saw a building and you saw a rock and you saw a tree in the same location, in the same this scene, many times you couldn't discern them, you couldn't see them properly. For example, red chests, they look really cool, they open really cool, they look beautiful almost, but they are so niewyraźne in Polish. There is almost like a grainy fog between us and the objects. So I hope that Borderlands 4 will fix this problem and will fix this issue. But yes, but I think that Vault Hunters looked really dull and boring comparing to the Valut Hunters from previous games. But I'm not sure if it's only our hate towards something new and making a fuss of something which is not true, which is false, or is it a proper warning to the producers that Vault Hunters look a little bit too boring and a little bit like without any charisma and something like that. So let me know in the comments what do you think about this issue, this problem.